A lot of people say that the only reason creators like myself are able to make 20K or more per month is because we have lots of viewers or subscribers. And the honest truth is that my 39-ish thousand subscribers doesn't really mean anything these days, because half the time my videos get like 800 views. But the cool thing is that those videos that kind of bomb by traditional standards are ones that get lots of clients into my business. And even more so than the videos that go viral and might get like 100,000 views. So what is going on behind the scenes here to make that happen? So this next part might be a bit controversial, but when it comes to selling your stuff online, about 20% of it comes down to titles, thumbnails, the videos, marketing, and tactics. But for some reason, that's where like most people devote 99% of their energy. When in reality, if you want to sell stuff online, and the reason that my little business is able to make about 20K a month with really pretty simple and kind of boring videos is because I've learned how to turn viewers into followers. So this is the second video in a 4-part mini-series where I'm sharing my system called Strangers to Clients, which is a blueprint that you can use to generate 10K or more per month with a simple, authentic, personal brand led by you. In the last video, we covered how to turn strangers into viewers, the art of grabbing attention. So if you haven't seen that video, go watch that first and then come back to this one. And so in this video, we're going to cover turning viewers into followers. And we do this through a process that I call story selling. And the good thing is that you can learn how to do this as well. There's 3 very important pillars to story selling that we're going to dive into here. It starts with authority, mission and purpose, and then the final piece, we're going to talk about testimonials. And this is not what you think it is, because I think so many people understand testimonials and completely screw up their chances of ever generating business for themselves with this piece. So please pay attention to each part here, because they all build upon one another and they're all vital for you to actually get the benefit of this process of storytelling. On the 19th of October, a lot of course sellers are going to be out of business because the Creator Society is going live. All jokes aside, if you actually want an influential personal brand and a business that's generating 10K plus per month without joining a course where you get told, here's your head coach, go watch a video and check in with this person who's never even done the thing you're trying to do. That's what this new movement I'm creating is about, because I just don't think that that should be normal. Within the Creator Society, you're going to get access to me directly, all of my systems, a group of like-minded people that are building stuff alongside you, and it's all integrated into my private Slack community. So it's literally direct mentorship with me. We'll have multiple calls every single week, and you get feedback from me on everything that you're building. So if you'd like to claim one of the remaining 16 founder spots, you'll lock in a discounted rate. And in order to do that, you just click the link below to join the waitlist. And when the doors open, I'll reach out to you personally so that you can secure that for yourself. So story selling, it's not about viewer retention, because you can have excellent viewer retention, but that doesn't necessarily translate to viewer satisfaction or a deep connection being built between you and the viewer. So it's very important to distinguish the difference, because if you're not careful, you're going to end up like everyone else. And the thing about everyone else is that they're very similar. There's no defining features of them. And therefore, you don't really have an edge or a leg to stand on when it comes to selling something. Like if someone wants to work with someone and everyone looks the same, what's going to happen? They're probably going to just pick the person with the least amount of financial investment. And then you end up in the race to the bottom, which is a common thing that happens for businesses, is they just keep undercutting each other on price until you completely devalue what you have to offer. So if we want to avoid this, the alternative then is to be like this guy here, right? This guy he's a wizard. He's got a shield. He's defending himself from the noise of the outside, and he's very unique. So our goal with story selling is to be a lighthouse and not a whiteboard. Because if all you're doing is providing info, education, information, that's fine, but it's not going to help you stand out. And there's a key difference between the people that are just blandly providing information and the people that are story selling. So we're going to get into what that looks like now. So the first pillar is that we need to be appealing to authority. And this is just a very quick, low friction way for you to start building trust right out of the gate. Because what you need to understand is that if someone is watching your video and learning from you, they need a reason to believe that you're the person that can help them. And one great way to do that is to speak about your accolades, right? So this is why so many people might put a dollar amount in a YouTube title. There's probably going to be one in this title. It's the reason people talk about selling their companies, how many views they got on their videos, blah, blah, blah. All of these things, they're accolades. And it's important to include those because people that are observing you are going to have more confidence in you. And this isn't about you, by the way. It's not like you're tooting your own horn, but you're giving people the confidence in you to actually take the action to work with you, which is going to positively change their life. And sometimes people just need to know that maybe you've worked with these people before, or that you've done this yourself, or that you've hit a certain revenue number. Because if they're stuck at, let's say, making 5,000 and you've made 10, and their goal is to make 10, the fact you've made 10 and you've communicated that you've made 10 means you're a great candidate to support them. And this person, you got to remember, they're looking for help. We're not trying to sell to people that don't want your help. So this is all about shining your light, being a lighthouse, making it clear to people, hello, I'm here. I know where you've come from because I was there. I can see all of the rocks and bumps in the road that you might run into, and I'm here to support you through that. And to the person that's ready to invest, that's what they need. They just need that confidence in you. So that's the power of accolades. Another really cool way to appeal to authority, I keep on sounding super Irish. I'm not good at pronouncing T's. We struggle with that where I'm from. But anyway, edit less. Now, you might hear that and think, no, David, I don't want to do one-take videos. I can't. I get awkward. And I understand that. But it's so powerful when you edit less. Because think about this. If you came across someone who is just sitting down, talking to a camera for 20 minutes straight, without looking at notes, without reading off a teleprompter, and you're getting actual value from the video, that person must have a really, really great grasp on the subject matter that they're talking about. And honestly, some people are really neglecting this, and they're going and scripting things and reading off a teleprompter, and you can see their eyes moving left to right. Personally, I can't stand it. But anyway, I think it's really shooting them in the foot because they have all this knowledge in their head, but they're too focused on trying to formulate everything in a perfect way that they don't let their individuality to shine through. And that is like way more powerful when it comes to building authority than having a perfect script. Like if I can sit here and mess up my T's and leave it in and continue sharing this information with you, then that's just super powerful. And that's always the stuff that people tell me, yeah, I just love the way you're just yourself. You leave in the mistakes you make and stuff like this. And it's just very personable and very powerful. So I really encourage you to just embrace the value that you have and just show up and share it unfiltered. Now, the third way to appeal to authority is more of a personal thing. And this is where we really get into the story. Now, you can share all of the accolades. You can talk without editing. But if you want to level this up, it's time to bring in your personal life. And it's time to share the failures and the wins that have happened along the way to you achieving all of this, or acquiring all of this wisdom, we'll say. Because that is what is going to solidify the message that you're sharing, is when you can give a tangible example of how you tried to do a launch, for example. I tried to do a launch a few years ago. Did it all, made a nice thing on Canva, posted it on Instagram, and nobody bought it. And it was quite embarrassing. I felt like a bit of a fraud, a bit of a loser. And I'm sure that some of you watching this can relate to that. It's terrible when you have a failed launch, but it's so important to have failed launches because it means you can actually learn what didn't work and then go ahead and improve that so you can have a successful launch in the future. And that's the stuff that just makes you a well-rounded individual. You've got knowledge to share, you've got accolades that people are aspiring to achieve for themselves, and you're just being a human. You're demonstrating, yeah, I fall into the same pitfalls. I was falling into them for a long time until I figured a way through. And now you're here as the lighthouse for them. So it's super powerful to have that appeal to authority with those three characteristics. Now, the second piece here, it's so important, and we're talking about mission and purpose. So, at the end of the day, people want certain things in life and there's other things they want to avoid, right? So, you got to ask yourself, with your business, with your approach to whatever it is you're doing, if you're a coach, if you're a healer, a hypnotherapist, whatever you're doing, there's got to be something that you're for and something that you're against. And this isn't like a battle or anything, but it's just, where are we focusing energy? What do we want to build for ourselves? And what do we want less of? Okay, so we're taking energy away from the places that we don't want it because it's not serving us, and we're putting it in the direction that we want it. Now, a great example of this, I was chatting with two guys in this space just the other day, very respected individuals. I really appreciate their work, James Kemp and William Brown. And we were talking about sales calls. And it's really interesting because if your priority is to maximize profit, doing sales calls is a good way to do that. But it does require a lot of energy because you got to do calls, or you have to have a team to do the calls for you. You have to manage that, and it takes energy. But if you want more of a lifestyle business, then doing less sales calls means you're going to have more time, but you're going to make less money, most likely. So if you're for a lifestyle business, which James, the guy I mentioned there, what's important to him is that he works, I believe it's 2 days per week. And so to have a whole sales team and whatnot, and to be doing sales calls, it's going to make it difficult to do that. So for freedom, flexibility, more time to be with your family, do the things you want to do, and against a big bloated business that is going to require a lot more of your energy. So naturally, people that gravitate toward James are interested in that more lifestyle element. And then people that are wanting to build a massive company, they might go with somebody else. So that's why the mission and purpose is so important when it comes to selling and building trust, because if people see that you're doing what they want to be doing themselves and you're discussing it and philosophizing about it, that's just going to be so much more potent to the right person. Now, it's going to exclude a lot of people, because some people, they're all about hustling and grinding and they want to make hundreds of millions or billions. But it's a different route that you need to take to get there. And so if you can solidify what is your mission and what's your purpose with the work that you're doing, and what are you standing for and what are you against? In my case, I'm really passionate about just having a simple, authentic business that doesn't require too much time. You get to work with clients that you want to work with. You don't have any headaches. And that's what I'm about, like simplicity. Like no super complex funnels. Kind of just sit here and talk and share in my own, quirky way, making my mistakes and delivering some value. And I'm against scripting. I'm against super edited things that take forever. And that's my mission at this point in time. And so naturally, a lot of my clients are people that want something similar. They want to just show up and they want to share their gifts and they want to be paid well for it. But they don't want to have all the fancy strategy and tactics and the things that maybe don't resonate with them or feel aligned. So again, if you don't want to miss a chance at getting one of those founding seats in the Creator Society, you can join the waitlist below. So ask yourself, what is your mission and purpose? And how can you bring that into your storytelling, into your videos? Because that is going to be so much more impactful and potent, because it's not just focused on the granular, but it's focused on the holistic picture of life and how your business, how your offerings and so on and so forth fit into that. So powerful. And if you skip that, then you're going to miss a huge opportunity to connect on a deeper level. Now, the third piece here is testimonials, and I put an X beside it. I was speaking to a client just the other day, and they said to me, David, I'm concerned I don't have any testimonials. So why would anybody work with me if I don't have testimonials? And I said, well, you don't need any testimonials. And this was a belief that was so ingrained in this wonderful individual. But in my experience of running different businesses over the last few years, and I think I've been asked for a testimonial twice. And I say that just to say, you don't really need testimonials. If you have them, great. It can add fuel to the fire. But if you're doing step 1 and step 2 correctly, then you don't really need testimonials, because a testimonial effectively is something that is used to increase trust and decrease risk. So if there's a testimonial of someone who said, I worked with Jimmy and Jimmy was fantastic, I got a lot of benefit, I got a lot of results from his program, the person watching that is going to feel, oh, Jimmy's a trustworthy guy, I think I'll work with him now. But we need to understand the context of organic content creation, especially long form. If you're watching someone's videos, even if you watch like one video and it's 20 minutes long, then you're building a lot of depth and trust there already. Like, I can't tell you the number of times people have watched one video, booked a call with me, and then started working with me within a few days. No testimonials needed. And I just want to encourage you that if you don't have testimonials, which you won't at the start, like nobody does, then that's okay. And that's where documenting and proving yourself every day comes into play. And that's why I love organic content, because you can show up and just express what you're working on, express what you've achieved, and so on and so forth. And you're literally doing it every day. Like, there's not a single thing that I teach or coach on or guide on that I don't do every week. And that's how you really like run a business with integrity. Like, if you're teaching something you're not doing or you haven't done, then you don't have that embodied experience. And whatever about the ethics of that, I'm not here to judge, but if you want to deliver a very impactful service, you have to really understand, like on a cellular level, what it is you're sharing. And so if somebody comes to you with a problem, you can actually reflect back on your experience with similar problems and think, what did I do? And with this client in front of me, what could I support them to do to get to where they want to go? And so That's why if you're literally doing the thing that you're teaching, then that is going to build trust anyway. So testimonials, they're fine, but don't let them get in the way of you actually making your first sale or making your first piece of content. Because like every business starts with zero. It's what comes first, the chicken or the egg, the testimonial or the client. Well, it's got to be the client, because the testimonial is what comes after you work with the client and they have a positive experience. So don't get held back by testimonials. They'll come in time, but it's one of those things you just need to believe in yourself without that evidence, and then allow that process to unfold, and then the evidence will present itself. But you got to have the confidence to go into it first without that evidence. Here we've talked about converting viewers into followers, but that's not going to generate you any sales for your business. The next thing you need to do is turn those followers into leads, and that's exactly what we cover in this video here.